Hello. This is the beginning of Aries season call for Under the Surface. I guess I'll give a little background on what Under the Surface is because I haven't really launched it to other people who could be watching this. So if you are already part of the group, you can kind of like breeze past this. But this is kind of my introduction video to this newest project slash channeling space I've launched. I have felt the call to use my voice more, to share the lessons I've learned in life and the lessons I learned through my astrology and intuitive practice and work with others. So I also feel a little freaked out sharing all of that just onto the wide web. And I know I'm not alone in that. I know there's a lot of people, regardless of the gift, that are a little afraid to put themselves out there and they're, you know, ready to share with the world what they know the world needs, but doing it in a safer way. So, this is the way that my nervous system has told me that will feel the best for me. And it's felt really exciting to share this with a few close friends. And I think now I'm just like ready to share it with more people. So if you're watching this as part of my like original crew, thank you so much for just witnessing me this first month as I figure things out on my end, like figure out my cadence of sharing, what I feel comfortable sharing in that capacity. And just know wherever I share this, I will be sharing a way to join that group. It's like a come and stay however you long kind of thing. At first, I was going to charge money, but right now that just doesn't feel aligned. It feels more important to focus on finding right connection and sharing right information. And I just know naturally that will allow abundance to keep flowing into my life. And hopefully that comes in through like, just really cool connections and being able to have my work seen because one of my like most joyful things is hearing when something I've said or shared like really resonates with someone. Like, A, it helps me feel less alone in my own experience. It validates that sharing is an incredible gift that we get to share with each other. And also it feels just so good to know that like maybe I helped someone's life be a little bit more enjoyable, or just a little less painful. Anyways, so the group, I use Telegram. It's just an app on the App Store, and you can just sign in with the app. I'll include the link, and right now, I'm assuming I'll probably just open up the space to people who want to join every time I post one of these videos, and then I'll kind of just like go quiet on it a little bit to make sure the container in the space that the participants that are there, it just feels like a little bit more like kept. And what I mean by that is if you're not familiar with this, is just like I just really like to facilitate a space. I really like to hold space for people and just like hold an energetic container, if you will, of things to come in. If you don't know about me, I am a psychic medium. I'm an astrologer. I channel information from spirit or like whatever you want to call it. But I'm also not unique in this. Everyone can. It just kind of just takes practice and getting to know how your own gifts or psyche works. So I say that being like, hey, yeah, this is what I do, but I'm not special in that I do this. These are just the things that I do. Um, and my goal with this, I was going to say membership. It might turn into a membership one day, but like right now, I just, once again, connection and sharing information. But this, it's still membership. It's still a membership where people can show up. I don't know. Wording's weird, but it's just this place where people can land and like receive what they need to and just put away what they don't. This month, I'll be going over in this call of like things that I talked about during Pisces season, Aries season with this core group. I think there's like a handful of us in there. And I'm also going to talk about what's going to happen going into this Aries season. So kind of like wrapping up what we've talked about in our group, kind of like the messages that were just coming up for me and just letting them pour through me and sharing them with others, and then getting into the astrology. With the end of this video, being about astrology aesthetics because I've been leaning into that a lot lately. It's just super fun. When people ask me like what type of astrology I specialize in, it's kind of hard to say because I have so many interests and curiosities. But lately, I have been learning and leaning into aligning with my astrology aesthetic, and I'll get into that a little later. But once again, if you're new here, this is just kind of like a space for me to like dump all my like really fun things I'm learning about, all the occult stuff, all the esoteric teachings. I just view all of it as a way to play with spirit and the universe. I, I have a lot of fear in sharing what I do because it has historically been seen as something that like makes other truths not as real. And yeah, I'm just not here to like convince anyone of how they're wrong. I'm just here to, this is like, listen to this. I'm not here to convince you of anything that you're wrong about. I'm just here to like ask more questions and become more curious. Because like ultimately, I only know what I know from my own experiences. And like, I was just thinking about this the other night, like, we'll never know what life is like to be lived by another person, and we can only know what life is like for ourselves. And so, I just ask you if you're here, just know I am a sensitive girl, so please be nice, okay? Like, I'm not here to tell you you're wrong. I'm just here to say, like, the world's so much bigger than we see. And, like, wouldn't it be cool to, like, lean into that magic a little bit more as opposed to be afraid of it or, like, not know about it at all? Anyways, let's get into the Aries season kind of wrap up of this month astrology. So we had a lot going on collectively in Pisces. So, like the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars. We also had the end of Saturn and Neptune wrapping up in Pisces. Like, we had such a concentration of Pisces energy. And if you view a zodiac wheel or know the order of the zodiac, Pisces is at the end. We were just wrapping up a lot of endings. We were like tidying up some things, making sure all illusions were dropped so that by Aries season, we're like, oh, there are no illusions left. Like, we see this in the news. Like, we can literally see people posting to TikTok that this was not on the news. Like, we can see who's lying. Whoa. Hello. There's a, yeah, there we can see who's lying. I get a lot of, this is something about me. I get a lot of like body responses when I'm speaking. Like my hands are really active right now as well. And so sometimes I get these like body cues and that almost just like reinforces what I'm saying or channeling. So that's fun. And if you do that too, like, hey, that's probably like just what's happening for you. Sometimes I like, yeah, I digress. So we can just see everything is being revealed. There's a lot less illusion. We're also very clear on like our personal accountability and the leadership we need to take within ourselves and our communities at this time. We just see that in almost any aspect. Like just look around, like we can kind of see that playing out. We still have that Pluto in Aquarius at play, so a lot of like collective rebirth, transformation in the collective, having that happen while we're also having, the outer planets shifting into Aries. Saturn, Neptune just shifted in there. We'll talk about those for Aries season. They'll come in conjunction with a lot of other personal or closer planets. So that will be happening. But we also have, and I'll talk about this later too, once again, a lot's happening. We have Uranus exiting Taurus and entering the sign of Gemini at the end of April. That only happens every 7 or 8 years, so it's kind of a big deal. It kind of creates this era, if you will. And so there's a lot happening, and we're going to talk about it. But a few things that came up for me this past month, personally, professionally, it's like weird, like the intuitive astrology is like, is this your profession? Yes, it's my profession. But so professionally, what was coming up for me in the intuitive realms was, okay, this is crazy. So I had not one, but two friends come to me and tell me they're actually part of the group, the Under the Surface group. And yeah, I've been working with a psychic mentor for like animal communication. And she had told me, Julie is her name. Julie had told me to start recording my dreams more and making note of them. And then these two friends came to me and said, hey, I had a dream that you were like doing a channeling session with a group of women, like my friends. are you doing that? Like I had one friend tell me that, and then I told a friend I just went on a walk talk today with about the dream. She's like, I had the same dream about you. So, anyways, if you want me to channel for you and your friends, I could be your girl. I don't know. It just happens to appear in dreams, but I've had a lot of people in my life tell me that, like, oh, you'd be great for this, you'd be great for that. And I have such an affinity and such a deep love for women. Like, men, I love my partner, but I will always love women. Like, and I'm not super fluid, sexually, but I'm like, I will always love women. And I just think they're so cool. We're just so cool. And yeah. So that's like something that came through talking about like the animal communication stuff I've been working through. I've done like 5 sessions with Julie. She's like a family psychic at this point. My mom has worked with her. I've worked with her. My whole family's worked with her on all of our animals. Like I think all of our animals have talked to Julie at one point, but I've been just like dipping my toes into animal communication because I have like psychic mediumship gifts and I've been exploring that heavily this past year. And there's like a few stories on my Substack that I could link if you like want to learn more about that. But yeah, I've been dipping into animal communication and that's been like really fun. And it's been like a really good reminder that, we are all psychic, we are all energetic beings, we're all spiritual beings. And when we communicate, yes, we use our words, but like the first way we communicate is like, I get visuals too. Okay, so I'm just seeing like a cloud. It's like a big cloud, right? We have the apple cloud, we have like the storage clouds, same thing, same thing. So we have a big cloud and it just like raindrops down into our minds, and that's like where our thoughts and consciousness originates from. If I haven't lost you yet, congratulations. You're one of the weird ones. I'm just kidding. Kind of. But yeah, like you're gathering these thoughts, you're distilling these thoughts, and then you're like translating them through your mouth. Anyways, so it's like animals don't talk, but they still talk to us through those like pictures we see. And I think just like learning, my dog's sleeping now. She's right below me. My kitty's usually over here, but just learning that that's how we communicate. Like that's when we catch a vibe from someone. Like the whole, if you've seen this online, and I'll talk maybe more about this with like the Uranus and Gemini, but there's been this trend online of astrologers saying like telepathy will be a thing with Uranus and Gemini. And I'm like, hell yeah, because Uranus is kind of like unexpected technology and Gemini is like how we communicate. So I'm like, I wonder how we're going to be communicating. Like, are we going to do mind reading somewhat? Or are people going to become more vibe catchers and understand like what someone's trying to like say without saying it? I don't know. I digress there as well. But anyways, we're into Aries season. I've been doing this like chat group for a month where I'll just like experience life, distill it in a spiritual lens, and then share it. And it's been so fun for me. And this is my first call where I am like doing like a recorded video with like an astrological forecast because I did a lot of those weekly last year and they just burnt me out. Like, I'm sorry if you liked those. If you're a person who is still subscribed to me from those, thank you so much. But like, I like big picture a little bit. Like, it's too hard for me to be completely zoomed into like the moon sign sometimes. Just tracking it every day was a little too much for me. So I was zooming out and looking at what we have going on for Aries season. And it's a fun one, guys. I have my cute like little iPad notes. And so we're going to go through it a little bit. And then once I go through this, then I'll probably see like my time and see if I can pull up a few charts to kind of like walk you through this. And then just because I feel like if you hear me talking, it's kind of annoying. And like if you don't actually see something, it doesn't land. So I'll talk through Aries season and probably pull up a few charts. And then I made a fun Pinterest board. Okay. Stick with me. I'm a multi-dimensional girly, multifaceted. I made a Pinterest board to show you different styles for your zodiac sign. So like we all hear like dress for your Venus sign, dress for your rising sign, but I'm about to put all those to shame when I go dress for your rising sign and your Venus sign and your Venus house and your MC. Boom. And then you're going to become magnetic. So anyways, that's what we have in store. Let's get into Aries season. I'm going to put my glasses on because they make me feel really smart. They kind of tap me into my astrologer teacher persona. So here we go. So Aries season started on March 20th. It will go all the way through April 19th. The big tricky thing that we actually just went through was this Neptune-Saturn conjunction with the sun. So I'll show you in a chart in a little bit, but essentially that's just like a conjunction is like when all the planets are close together. So like Saturn and Neptune are like this, and then the sun just like entered Aries season and went right on top of them. So that's fun for all of us. That's actually happening for all of us. It happens in your own chart in its own way. So check to see where Aries is in your chart. For example, I have Aries in my 11th house because I'm a Gemini rising, but it totally depends. Also, I'm a whole sign Hellenistic astrologer. You can totally vibe with Placidus. I just don't use it for these types of videos. It makes it more complicated, in my opinion, but everyone can do their own thing. So we have the sun coming into conjunction with Saturn and Neptune. Saturn is like slowness. It's like contraction. Like, what do you actually need to do in order for things to happen? Neptune's like dreams, like alternate realities, like escapism. And it's kind of like all these things coming to light in social media, the world, where it's like, oh, all the things we thought are not as it seemed on one level or another, or all of them. Everything's crumbling, but it's good. Okay. So, yeah, there might have been like a lot of tension for you. I definitely felt this. Because like I'm filming this the last day of March. So, like a few days ago, 20th through the 25th was like when that conjunction was the tightest, to like the tighter degree. And then one other thing with the sun is it will come into a square with Jupiter on the 5th of April. And that's actually like pretty good energy. Squares are sometimes like they're like the red lines, like the short red lines in your chart. Oppositions are the long red lines. We can look soon. But the sun squaring Jupiter is actually like kind of a good vibe. It's like, where can we grow? Expansion is Jupiter, sun is like brightness, growth, like just like you, like your ego, like just like who you are, just light expanding brighter. So like the first few days of April, I'll get into this, like are gonna feel like really awesome. And then like kind of mid-April will feel like what the fuck. So there will be a sun square Jupiter in Cancer. Sun is in Aries, cardinal sign. Jupiter is in Cancer, cardinal sign on the 5th. Really exciting. I like this astrology coming up, okay? So Venus in Taurus, March 30th through April 24th. Okay. Venus is already in Taurus. I love it because, and most astrologers will love this, most people will love this time because there's this thing called rulership in astrology where like planets like to hang out at the Taurus house a little bit more, and Venus loves to hang out at Taurus house because Taurus house has all the snacks, all the comfy things, um, all the like the aesthetic things, beautiful. Taurus is ruled by Venus, so like she loves being there. She loves it. Taurus is very stable, grounding. With Venus being there in the spring, I'm just like, get outside, like look at the flowers, smell the air. The air smells good right now if you're in like a non-super city place. But like the air smells good in my backyard. Oh my gosh, it's just a really good time for spring. I always think of like Taurus and Venus as Tefiti. She's like the earth goddess from Moana. So if you've seen Moana, if you're a Disney princess mom like myself or can resonate, Tefiti is like my archetype that I think of for like Venus or Venus and Taurus. Just super earth, super grounded. Get outside, like put your feet in grass for sure is the vibe. Um, It's funny because sometimes I'll just get voices that like have to speak through me. So like put your feet in grass. But anyways, so yeah, it's a good vibe. Like Venus can be there, like relationships could be like a little bit more stable. One thing to note though is like, for example, Taurus is my 12th house. So Venus going through my 12th house 12th house is kind of like icky sometimes because it's like all the shadows and like the unseen. So like if you're not super aware of yourself, sometimes the 12th house can suck ass. But for me, because I've been like meditating a lot and like being in my garden, like I'm gardening, I just feel like it'll be a good time. Like I'll be alone meditating in my garden and that will be like hopefully my like Venus through the 12th house story. Once again, like the stars aren't bossing you around. Also, the star is just the sun. So like the planets aren't bossing you around, your placements aren't bossing you around, but you can develop like awareness of your placements. Like the more you study astrology, the more you study your chart, you can like look to your chart and be like, oh, I totally have that attendance like tendency and like just be aware of it. So because I know that 12th house transits can be tricky, Venus and Taurus is like a good thing, but sometimes I'm like, okay, maybe I just need to like really up my like spa rituals during this time or like make sure I schedule out that like alone time so I don't like have the like shadow side present where like I'm getting more stressed or like I'm having mental health stuff come up, that kind of thing. So apply it to your own chart. Moving on to, we have a full moon in Libra, um, April Fool's Day, which is hilarious to me. It's at 12 degrees. So I have a Libra sun, I have an Aries moon. Aries season's usually pretty busy for me, as is Libra season. So that's something you can look for in your own chart of like, gosh, like what's my moon sign? What's my sun sign? And like what is either like that season or sister season because like Aries and Libra are sister signs. So the full moon, new moons are like mirrored. You can like look to see in your chart and see like what busy times you usually have in your year. Sometimes it's like it, sometimes it's not. But anyways, this full moon in Libra, full moons are for releasing. And because it's Libra, I feel like it could be really important to like release a lot of the things in your Libra related house. I'm thinking of how the lunar nodes were just recently in Aries and Libra. Like they're now in Pisces and Virgo and they're about to shift into Aquarius and Leo. But like 2.5 years ago, they were in Aries and Libra. You can look to the dates. I think it was like 2023, 2020, 2022. I don't know. Look. But just like a really good time to like release any like poor relational habits you've had like with yourself or others. I saw this one thing that said like me versus we, and I love that because as a Libra, I can tell you it is hard to not fuse with people or think that like other people's emotions are your own. Other people's desires are your own. Like, I think it's just like for me, what I'm actually like doing a guided journaling thing. I've already like scheduled it in my like little planner because I have to be like that sometimes. To make sure like I do all my cute little spiritual goals. Tell me you have Scorpio ruling your sixth house. That's me. But I feel like this would be a good. Also, by the way, I'm all over the place. So welcome. Welcome to my cute little brain. We just have fun. She's a fun one. Um, but I feel like with this full moon, just like releasing those like relational habits would be really important. And also, like for me too, Libra rules my fifth house. So it would be like a lot about letting go of the like childhood ties that don't feel sustainable or like for my own daughter for example like I'm just really honing in on like our routine and like how we play together and like developing hobbies and like going on hikes together. And so just look to where Libra is in your chart. If you want, you can totally message me like wherever you know how to message me, and I'm sure I'll figure it out. I'll get it. But you can kind of just think like, what do I want to release in this area of my life? For example, like, let's say, okay, this would be a good one. I don't know what your rising sign would be, but like if you have Libra ruling the ninth house has to do with like beliefs or spirituality or like religion. And like maybe you're like reworking your beliefs in spirituality or like your release with your like relationship with yoga even because that's a ninth house theme or relationship with astrology, or finding like more balance there too because Libra is about balance. So I think full moon's balance relationships, yeah, also like with the, and I'll get into this now, we're gonna have like interesting astrology mid-April and it's like Aries and just can we not fight like if we don't have to? Like as a Aries moon, like I get it, like you want to be right now, but can we just like also learn emotional regulation so we don't like flip out on each other? Let's get into that. So Mars is entering Aries April 9th through May 18th. So this is cool because Mars is like the ruler for Aries, right? That's cool. That's like vibing. Like Aries is happy to be causing fights and starting wars in the sign and house of Aries. Okay? But then it also comes into conjunction with Neptune and Saturn the 12th through the 19th. So like that kind of what's my foundation versus what's reality kind of vibe story we've had with Saturn and Neptune, Mars enters that chat. So it's like, oh, let's like fuck shit up. Like, let's go. Because Mars is like the person who comes to this house party and is like, I have the keg. Like, let's go. Like I have matches, guys. Like I brought the fireworks. Mars is like, I brought the fireworks. Let's go. Let's light this up. Like, let's go. And just doesn't think. And so, with this transit, I will say, please be mindful driving. Something I've noticed in myself and a lot of people is like increased anger driving during Aries season and when there's like Mercury or Aries, and both will be going through Aries. So just like be mindful in like driving or just like if you feel like you want to start a fight, like take a step back and like figure out how much the fight is just within you before like confronting that person. Because Aries season is good. Like it brings things out, right? Like have you been emotional lately too? Like have you been crying or freaking angry about like what's happening in the world? Like let that out. Like let that shit out. And like it can feel, I'm speaking, this is all from my experience, okay? Like know that when I say if you feel this way, know that I'm saying, hey, I've been crying my eyes out because of the world. Like please, let's all do the same. Um this is all to say like watch for burnout, okay? You and me. Working a lot, like just make sure you're not like overworking. For me, I'm actually kind of happy though, because this is the flip side. This is the flip side. This is like the fear-mongering side. This is the flip side that I like to live on. Because a lot of astrology is like so fear-mongered, and I'm like, no, but you get to decide what this story is. Like, you can always come back, right? So I like Mars and Aries because there's a lot of energy and drive there. Like you have a lot of passion in that area. And it's my 11th house. So, like, this is a perfect example. Like, I'm talking to my community. I feel passionate about it. Like, I'm hanging out with friends more. Like, I just went on a walk and talk with a friend this morning. Like, I actually kind of like it. So, it's kind of just use your own discretion. Like, obviously, look to the placements in your own chart. If you need help, let me know. If you want a reading, I do readings. Like, we can do that. Um, yeah. So, just like, I wouldn't say like take it all as bad, but like, definitely be aware that things could get heated up really quick. Um, Especially when Mercury enters Aries on April 15th. So, yeah, between, like I mentioned, the 9th and the 20th, both come into contact with Neptune and Saturn, Mercury and Mars. So, it will be like front of mind, like, what do I want to plant for the future? Like, I have seen the word, I'm like burping, this is important for me to get out. I've seen the word like seed a lot. Like what seeds are you planting? Like I just had like little pumpkin seed sprouts and was showing my partner like the garden this morning. I was like, look, they're coming back. Like the seeds I planted are sprouting. And so like we're just baby sprouts, right? Like it's the year of the horse, whatever. Like we're just baby sprouts right now. So just be tender with yourself. Like you wouldn't just go trampling baby sprouts, you know? Like, and everyone else is just baby sprouts right now too. Okay. Let people grow a little bit. Just give them what they need and let them grow. Um, okay, last little bit. So new moon in Aries, 417 at 27th degree. New moon is about like starting things that are new. So like for me, by the end of the month, like maybe I'm like doing more connection with friends or like a community event or like I'm hosting something like I don't know. This could be something like that. Once again, I can't tell the future. Like I don't know what's going to happen, but like that could be the vibe. And maybe like just journaling or reflecting on like what do I want my vibe to be? Like if this all went according to the plan, like what would I want that plan to be? And maybe I can like shoot for that, but like also be okay being surprised by whatever happens in life. But this new moon's kind of interesting because it's conjunct Chiron, and I have a whole post on Chiron and like healing, but basically Chiron's the wounded healer, and it can kind of be where we're sensitive and like where we have like more healing to do. And so with the moon here too, like maybe like even setting intentions on like how would I like to like move forward with my healing at this time? Like what's not been working for me? Like what am I ready to shift? We also have a triple conjunction. I just thought that was cooler, a word between Mercury, Mars, and Saturn with that new moon. So, like on that new moon, that is conjunct Chiron. We also have a conjunction with Mercury, Mars, and Saturn. So it'll literally be like, where do you want to go from here, girl? Like, guy, whoever is listening, where do you want to go from here? It's up to you because Aries is the leader. Aries is like pioneering spirit, like it's the initiator, it's a cardinal sign, it's the first cardinal sign, it's a fire first cardinal sign. So it's like, you know what? I'm gonna end this. Oh, well, I'll say one more thing. I'll say one more thing. Uranus leaves Taurus and goes into Gemini the 25th of April. And I kind of touched on that, but I can touch on more after. So, like the year of the fire horse, like one thing I'll say before I move on to fun, like girly pop charts and Pinterest vibe time is like if you imagine a horse, like they're actually quite timid. So you have to be like really energetically attuned to your horse. And like, are you riding by the reins? Are you riding by the hair? Are you riding bareback? Are you riding in saddle? Like, are you up in the saddle? There's just so many ways to ride a horse. So I just want to leave you with that, if that resonates at all. Like, if you've heard stuff online of like fire horse, Chinese year of the fire horse, so cool, so cool. That's amazing. But like, how do you want to ride your horse? Do you just want to do a slow trot for a while? You don't have to gallop, honey. Okay? I don't want to go fast at the beginning. I'm gonna get way too tired. So once again, Aries season, burnout, those are the kind of things. Mid-month, kind of like, ooh, heated. Watch for that new moon. I have an art night that I'm volunteering for that night. It's also my half birthday. So yeah, it'll be like a good time to like reflect on like, okay, half the year till my next birthday. What do I want to do next? Last little thing, Uranus and Gemini. I said last little thing a bajillion times. Just disregard all the times I've said that before now. Um, yeah, Uranus in Gemini, I'm very excited because I'm a Gemini rising, and so that will mean like a lot of like changes to my like physical appearance, and this is kind of what will lead us into like the aesthetics. Um, and I'll maybe like answer a few questions. My friend Kelsey asked me one this morning that was really good, so I'll get into that. But yeah, Uranus, if we're talking about this house party analogy I've been referring to this entire time, Uranus is like this person, just like you can't even expect who they are. Like they might show up in a hazmat costume. They might show up in like five new pierced earrings and a full sleeve of tattoos, and you'd be like, "Oh, Jimmy, you got yeah, I just got them yesterday. No big deal." Like so random or like just completely unexpected or just like we just got a pool on the roof of our house, let's go upstairs, or like hey, this one opened up. So Uranus is crazy. This is all to say like Uranus is unexpected, it's unconventional, kind of against tradition, kind of against norm, doing things differently. And so mixing that with Gemini, how we communicate, how we travel, we already see this with TSA at airports. The lines are long, people aren't getting paid enough. This will change our airline industry, um, and how we travel. Like they are exploring self-flying planes, like for cargo right now, but like automated flying, like that's definitely a theme that we're looking for. And I mentioned this earlier, Uranus stays in a sign for like 7, 8 years. So this transit's huge. It's gonna last till 2030. So like bye-bye, Uranus and Taurus won't miss ya. Let's get into Pinteresting. Let me get into my Pinterest. Yeah, so the Libra in me loves making Pinterest boards, and we just need to make her happy at all times. And so I made you a cute little astrology style board. We're going to talk about that and then like maybe look at a few charts depending on my voice, LOL. And maybe talk about a question or two. I'm honestly not feeling like staring at charts today, and that's strange for me. Okay, so we're here. I want to make this bigger, but I don't. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we're talking aesthetics of astrology. Okay, so okay, I have to pull up a chart. Hold on. Oh, this is perfect. This is answering the question at the same time. So my friend Kelsey was like, "What do you even do for like a channeling session or astrology?" This is what I do, Kelsey. This is what I do. So I go to astro.com. There's a bunch of different ways you can look up your own chart. This is my preferred. I feel like it's awesome. this, I have instructions on this too if you want to do it for yourself or other people. Okay. Astro.com, charts and calculations. Scroll down, extended chart selection. The only thing is ads on this site. Okay, so I actually have one for my astrology brand. So that'd be kind of funny to look at. Yeah, there's me. Who do we want to look at? Let's do Hailey Bieber. She's like always my go-to girl. She never lets me down. Because I think I have a picture of her too, so I can talk about that. Okay, so let's talk about the astrology and we'll get into style. A few things. Let me turn the brightness. I can't see with the shit with these. Um, few things. So you can see that this is Hailey Bieber. Hi. Um, so a few things that I look at for astrology style. If you're a woman, more so Venus. You can look to your Mars too. That's like powerful. Like if you want to like be powerful, poof. Or like especially sexy, look to your Mars sign. But for women, I look to Venus. So like her Venus is right here, Libra Venus. She her rising sign is Sagittarius. It's right here. And then her MC is Virgo right here. So just quickly showing you one picture. I'm pretty sure this is her. Hold on. Or it looks a lot like her. It's all in a crazy language. But let's just talk about it for maybe, no, she's not, that's, I don't know, that's her. Anyways, I'll give an example and then we'll look at pictures. So with Hailey Bieber, if you know her, it's like clean girl aesthetic, right? She's known for her skincare brand. Um, Libra aesthetic really looks like soft girl. Like you can see all of these. Like Libra is very romantic. Okay, she's softer. She's ruled by Venus. You want something that's like a little softer. Hailey, pretty soft, like neutral. Like complexion and hair, pretty neutral, nothing crazy. Like she's not wearing crazy eye makeup. She's not like doing crazy like things. She's pretty basic. So that kind of speaks to that Libra. It's like balanced. Also, symmetry in a face is very important with Libra. Like you need to be balanced on either side. So if you have like Libra, Venus, rising, or midheaven, like I would say balance is really important. Like asymmetrical tops, maybe like they could look great on you, but like if you wanted to lean into that Libra quality, maybe don't. There's a bajillion examples of this, but just archetypally think Libra's balanced and soft and like romantic. Then if you look to her MC, it's in Virgo. Virgo is literally the clean girl aesthetic to a T. I don't need to say more. That's all I need to say. And then Sagittarius is kind of wild. It's a little bit free people. It's a little like kink in your hair, you know? It's a little like, oh, where did she just get off the plane from? Like that looks like she could pack a sleepover bag in that bag. So like an example would be this is where I feel like it'd be really fun to have people live and you'd be like, oh my gosh, yes. So I'm really curious. Like if you have thoughts on this, please like just like let me know and just yeah. Just let me know. But yeah, so like this kind of looks like Hailey Bieber, but it's not her. This is like if Hailey Bieber had a more Scorpio vibe because Scorpio is like more dark, like black especially. But you know, it's like clean girl. She looks balanced. She has the middle part, right? You have the middle part, so that's balanced symmetry on both sides. Um, yeah. But let me just go through some of my pictures now so you can see kind of how I drew that. So you're going to look to your first house. Another good one for style is your first house ruler. I'll give another example too, but for her, so ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter and her Jupiter is in Capricorn. So like actually, I don't know if this is her, but it looks like her. This actually works for her because like all black is kind of like a Capricorn uniform as well. Like Capricorn is very uniform. It gives Steve Jobs. It gives like I hope Nicole's watching this. Italian black. Just like black is the uniform. So that could be like a little bit of a Capricorn vibe. Um, but let me give another example. I like don't want to show my chart because I feel like yeah, I have a lot of people here. I only really like to use celebrities unless I've had like given permission from someone. It's just like a thing. Um, this is my cat, by the way, Whimsy. Yes, you can pull astrology charts for animals. Have I done it? Yes, for all my animals that I know their birthdays. I don't have their exact times, though that would be really cool. Um, but like Whimsy has a Pisces Venus, and if you've seen her, she has like those like light eyes, like those light ocean eyes are very like water sign slash Pisces vibe. Um, but this is a cat, so let's go back to style. Okay, I wanted to start off right with Aries because it's at the beginning of the zodiac, and every time I think of, here we go, here we fucking go. Every time I think of an Aries, like Venus or an Aries rising. I'm pretty sure Brianna's an Aries rising as well. So she's in bright red. So, oh, I can't even look at her. She's so beautiful. But so Aries, we're just gonna go through it. So, like, here's where you get a little notebook and you like write down what I'm doing. Okay. So, first, you're gonna write down your rising sign, you're gonna write down your Venus sign, and then you're gonna write down the sign that your MC's in. So, like, at your chart, you'll see like, Whimsy's MC is in Libra, her Venus is in Pisces, and then her rising sign is Sagittarius, which doesn't really matter because she's a pet and I don't have her exact birth time, but it is like, oh, Jupiter would be like Gemini. So she's looking at like, you know, Pisces, Libra, Sagittarius, and Gemini, like blending all of those for her personal style, if that makes sense. If you wanted to really focus on like your public persona, like if you were doing like a speaking event or something like that, I would lean more towards dressing towards your MC because that's like how people see you the most. But if you're like meeting a bunch of people and like mingling, I would probably go, hey, like maybe lean towards your first house because like you could make a really like strong impression with someone if you're leaning into your first house. But if you want to like be on a date and like really magnetic to somebody, like I would probably lean into your Venus sign because that's just like your femininity if you're a woman. I do this with Aaron. Sometimes my partner, I'm like, oh, he has an Aquarius Mars and he's just like a very different energy. Is how I can say it. He's just very like he's like people just stare at me. I'm like, I know. But anyways, so let's get back to Rihanna. So I'm just gonna go through the zodiac now, like Aries through Pisces. This is like, yeah, this is so fun for me. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching, I really appreciate you. So Rihanna, Riri, Aries, strong, bold. She's like, you look at her, she's a fucking warrior. She's a warrior. Like she has people all around her. Like this is screaming Aries. So it's bold, it's not afraid, it's unapologetic. However, because I have like an Aries moon, I'm like, I mean, I look good in red, but do I want to wear that? No. So think of one thing that like is a little bold for you. Or like, if your Aries rules the third house, like how could you like embellish your hands? Like maybe you have classic iconic red nails. Like if you had like Aries Venus in your third house, like maybe you have iconic hands, like maybe you have a little bit of tats, like that kind of thing. Um play with it. See what I mean? Like just think of the archetype. Like what would a warrior goddess wear, right? Like she's an Aries warrior goddess. Like make a Pinterest board about her and then like use your closet to pull from that. Does that make sense? Okay, let's do Taurus. Okay, this is the girl I pulled for Taurus because she's just so good. Um, she's like right that like Tafiti, like Moana, right? Like I'm not saying you have to do this if you're like a Taurus rising or a Taurus Venus or a Taurus MC, but there's going to be this like earth element about you, this earth fairy whimsical thing about you. Um, oh, I didn't want to wake you up, device. But yeah, it's like just think like if I walked into the garden right now and like I put on like a loose dress or something, like I just put on a bunch here, like this could be a little bit of a Taurus. This gives kind of Cancer vibes too, but just like a little bit more flowing, more Venusian, like really drapey, like silk natural fabrics would be really good to focus on. Um, this also ties into something I've been studying as well, like the season, the color palettes. So for me, I'm pretty sure I'm a soft summer. I can kind of lead more soft autumn. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just like look it up on TikTok or something. But essentially, if you know how to dress for your season, the colors and the makeup and the hair coloring you have just like suit you so much better. So I actually have a hair appointment later this week to kind of go like even maybe darker and like a little bit more muted because muted colors look good on me. So knowing your season in combination with this will be lethal. Watch out. Okay, so we've kind of done Taurus. Now we're going to do Gemini. So I'm a Gemini rising, and I feel like I can adequately express what this means. If you have a Gemini rising, God bless you. So, Gemini rising, it's like the hands, it's mercurial, it's ruled by Mercury. It's like the mind, it's writing, it's speaking, it rules the third house. It's all about like connecting and gabbing. Like they are the yappers, they are the connectors in the community. They're like the gossipers at worst, connectors at best. And they're always on the know about trends. So, Gemini risings to me usually give a young vibe. Like my friend Alex, she is another Gemini rising, and she just like has the coolest jewelry. She does silver and gold. That's like kind of like Mercury is like kind of like a hermaphrodite, like not really, but like has, sorry, I'm probably butchering this, but like has male and feminine qualities. And so like Gemini rising women typically kind of present androgynous because Mercury, the ruler, is androgynous. Um so for me, like I'm wearing, I should probably stand up. I'm wearing sweatpants. Like I'm wearing like boys sweatpants right now, but I'm wearing like a cashmere top and like in makeup, you know? So it's like that could be that dichotomy. If you have a Gemini Venus, oh, God bless you because you're just a little fairy too. But you're just like buzzing and bright and like kind of like these brighter colors, these trending colors, like kind of think about TikTok. Like, what are the young kids wearing? Like, give me the Adidas Sambas. Let me see if I can find some examples. This was my example. So, like you can see, like this is a very trendy picture, like the sunglasses, the like little sleek hair, you know. I don't know what all the kids are wearing these days. I really don't. But this is like the vibe, right? Like you're young, you're flirty, like it's just upbeat, you know? It's not slow. It can't be something that like weighs you down. You have to like be able to move your hands and like move your arms. Like I think like a really good vest, like a good fitted vest looks so good on strong Gemini placements. Like chef's kiss. I love me a good vest moment. Okay. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Okay. This is my Cancer girl. Let me find her. Yep. Okay, so whenever I think of Cancer, it's just ocean, beach, cottagecore grandma, hydrangeas out front, home, mother. It's giving mother, okay? I'm thinking of my friend Talia. I hope she's watching this because she has a Cancer sun, and she definitely is like very soft girl. Like she has a Substack, and like she's like always putting these like gorgeous like ethereal, oceanic, like soft feminine pictures, and I just love it. So just like really soft, really tender, like lighter fabrics too. Like I would say if you're a Cancer, that leans more towards this gives sexy Cancer though. I don't know Drew Barrymore's astrology, but this gives sexy Cancer because Cancers are quite sexy. Like they're freaks. They like Phyllis Vance off The Office. She's like probably a Cancer freak. She gives mom, like she gives grandma, she knits, but she's a freak, you know? Like oh, so great. Okay, Cancer. Like this right here. This hair, so good. Natural hair, natural curls, all of the water signs. I don't know what it is. Like, okay, so I have a lot of Scorpio. I have like a lot of Pisces, that kind of thing. I have curly hair. There's probably there I have seen studies on this where I have 10 minutes left, you guys. I'm probably not going to get to too much. Well, I set the time. You can stay however long you want. This is my clubhouse. So, anyways, back to yapping. Um, like, yeah, there's just so many different ways you can style your hair based on your zodiac. I would say if you're Cancer or like the water signs, wavy natural hair, like the ocean, like you just emerged from a spring creek or like the ocean, hot. People are gonna think you're hot. Looks like you're dripping water, hot. That's more Pisces. We'll get into that. But yeah, Cancer, it's just really soft. Like, you know, she can have her little moment. She can have like little like buttercream moment because it's summer, you know, like it's summer colors. Like you might even have summer coloring about you, but still like that softness because Cancer is ruled by the moon. You could also like if you did have, this is a really important thing for Cancer people. So if you had like a Cancer MC, I would look to where your moon is. So like let's say you had, you know, Cancer in the 10th house and your moon was actually in Capricorn in the fourth house, I'd be like, you need like a cozy, comfortable, uh, like like a wardrobe, like like what is it? A uniform because it's Capricorn. Like you're gonna still like dress a little colder to fit that Capricorn, but it's still like soft. So, do you see how I'm just like mixing it? It's not like any set way. I'm just using the archetype that I know in my brain that I've studied of this zodiac sign and just like seeing it in the world around me and seeing it in style and like you just play with it. Okay, Leo. This is so fun. Okay. Leo, playful. This is actually like the first thing I kind of see where it's like kind of playful, a playful little detail, like ballet slippers, incorporating your inner child. So for me, I have my son in the fifth house. So I don't have like well, actually, my Venus is at a Leo degree as well. So like there's this element of play within my wardrobe that I try to do where it's like, okay, yeah, but like make it fun. Like what would your like little girl self love to wear? So like little pearl earrings. Aaron calls these my corn, he calls them my corn earrings. They're pearls, bro. Okay. I like actually want to get these shoes. Anyways. So there's like this element of play. Hair's a big thing. Fur coats are a huge thing with Leos. Flouncy is pretty fun, really playful, long hair. Like you're known for your hair if you're a Leo. I know so many hairstylists I ask, like, they have Leo placements because they're working with hair. Like this quintessential Leo right here, baby. Oh yeah, free people, a Leo, free people hate to see a Leo coming. Actually, it loves it. I pinned this too because I was like, she looks like a little kid here. So almost like it's weird because people will think that is sexy. We live in a fucked up world, but like having that childlike quality to you while still being a full-grown adult can be very sexy. Like when I was doing my cheeky dances, I always kind of had that like playful kind of like coquette vibe, but also like childlike, like playful, like not afraid to like do things. And yeah, that was fun. That was attractive to a lot of people. Okay, Leo, what else do I want to say about Leo? Really fun prints too. Like Leo's probably like more leaning on like the crazy colors. Um, if we're talking seasons, like I think that'd be more like a winter season, but like me, I don't look good in like bright colors. So I lean more towards like pastels. But you can kind of see how like playful these sweaters can be. Once again, you don't need to go shop these. Like you have stuff in your closet. You literally have like so many things you could just like look around your space. Like do a clothing swap with friends and being like, help me dress more, whatever. Let's see if I have any more Leo. This reminded me of Leo too. Like anything like sun, like really bright. That's why I like the hair. Like my hair doesn't have volume today, but I like having my hair really voluminous because then, Leo, lion mane, like anything that kind of like makes you more of like a cat eyes. I love to do like a cat eye to kind of like give an ode to like my Leo placements. I have a Leo Mars, so like when I want to feel like extra spicy, I do a little cat eye, and it's kind of like the aggressive form of my sexuality, if you will. Playful, aggressive, you tell me, I don't know. Okay, Leo, Virgo. I mean, we talked about Virgo. She's just the clean girl. I don't know if I put too much Virgo in here. Okay, this would be a Virgo. This is be like okay, Margot Robbie even. Like kind of pretty classic too, where it's like nothing crazy going on. You probably have a really good skincare routine, hair care routine, like you just do your thing. And maybe blending with your other things. Like let's say you had a Virgo place, like an Virgo MC, but you also had like an Aquarius Venus. Like you might still look a little different and unique, but you're still like that clean because Virgo is all about like purity, the maiden, just like daily routines. Like that's the natural house it rules. So I would just say it like leans just like it could just like lean more like pure too, where it's like just like no fuss either. Like I've met plenty of like no fuss Virgos and they just like flow because they know that's also fine too. Um, talked about Libra a little bit. She's ruled by Venus. I feel like this for me would be like my perfect outfit because I have a Scorpio Venus, so like I need black, right? I have my Venus in the sixth house, so like I want like a clean girl aesthetic with my face. And like Libra, they're still like romantic. I have a Libra sun, so it's like romantic details here. It's Gemini, like it's trendy. But then I have a Pisces MC, so that kind of was like throws me for a loop. Anyways, let's talk about, I feel like Libra's gotten enough attention. And let's talk about Scorpio. So I have a Scorpio Venus. She's really misunderstood. Um, she doesn't hate people, she just gets energetically overwhelmed. Um, so the thing with Scorpio Venus is everyone's gonna tell you, or like Scorpio anything, it's like be mysterious, be sexy. That's great. For me, how I blend it, because I don't actually like to wear a lot of black, it doesn't look as good on me because I look better in muted colors. So, like, if you have a more low contrast face where there's like less contrast going on, like darker eyebrows to lighter skin, that kind of thing, once again, go look that up. If you like are trying to dress for Scorpio, I would just say like be sexy. However that is, and be a little mysterious about it. Like Zoe Kravitz is like a perfect example of this. She like has a lot of like little tattoos all around her body, but she doesn't like quite show them all, and she like lo wears like long dresses and kind of like drapes her small frame, and that like creates mystery, right? She wears sunglasses, that creates mystery. She's like, resting bitch face, mystery. Um, Also, I feel like Scorpio types tend to like really go for quality over quantity, whereas I feel like Gemini is trendy, Scorpio is more how long is this going to last? Like if I'm going to spend my money, I want to make this last. So like investing in like really high quality fabrics, and this goes for everybody. This doesn't mean that if you aren't this sign, you don't do this, but I've just seen this especially with Scorpios is like they need to have something nice because they know that's energy. Sagittarius, once again, I like had the bag reference. Like you want to feel like you just stepped off the plane and just got out of like a convertible at the same time. That's like how a Sagittarius should look, kind of very much the French, like effortless, but you really spent time on it. Um, Yeah, here it is. This is the picture for Sagittarius, you guys. Like Louis Vuitton and flip-flops, bright teal toes, bold, hair wavy. This is giving like Sagittarius mixed with a bit of Pisces, maybe some Scorpio, like not to say like luxury is just Scorpio, but just fitting all these pieces together. Um, yeah, that's really fun. And then Capricorn, like a structured jacket, a tailored jacket is a Capricorn's best friend. If you look at Dakota Johnson, I should have fucking saved her here. I love her so much. I love her so much. Oh my gosh. Overwhelmed with liking of her. But it's like, you could even have a Gemini placement, wear this hat, and then have a Capricorn moment if you have like a Capricorn MC and have this draped over you. What a lovely number. Okay. Capricorn, it's all about like uniform and like ease too, because you want things to be easy so you can just focus on the thing that you want to do. Most of the times that's work for Capricorn placements, but like it really just depends. I know there's my friend Nicole has a lot of Scorpio and Capricorn, so I'm sure she has some of this here, but just like being that boss babe, like not being afraid to take up space, like structured, like the shoulder pads were a very Capricorn coded thing. I wouldn't say take it that far, but that would be great. These are like Sagittarius boots because Sagittarius rules over like lower legs and also very free. Let's do Aquarius. Aquarius is super, it's like hard to peg Aquarius because they're just so different. Like you could say like this is Aquarius because that's, in a beach and like who's wearing a sweater at a beach or it's the stars. I feel like Aquarius I do see a lot of piercings and tattoos, but I think that's just because that's another way to make yourself different than other people. Usually not afraid to wear like cool expressive makeup, like Aquarius placements, like my friend Nika's in this, and she like has the coolest like curated closet. Like she shopped at Sundance, she shops at like all these like outdoor places, so she cares for a social cause. You could actually like really care where your clothes come from or your makeup comes from if you have Aquarius coded placements, like your MC, Venus, or rising sign. Um, Also, if you have like Aquarius in your first house, you just come off really different. You just come off weird. but like in the best way. People like just know you're different and it's just so cool. And like you don't like to be known as different, but you want to be different. So just finding ways to be really unique. Like finding like a weird thing at a vintage store and you like clip it as a keychain on you and you just wear it all the time. Like, I don't know. Aquarius, harder to peg. Pisces, this fucking makeup right here. It's like giving Pisces, it's Libra. Like Pisces is the end, so she's old. Could also, yeah, I would say like Libra, just very Venus coded. Like if you had Venus in your first house, this could be an option for you, especially like Venus and Pisces with a little bit of Gemini influence. Oh my God. Um, let me just like go over a few here. I'm sure you have like questions, but just feel free to ask. This is like very like light. I feel like there's like a light Venus and a dark Venus. Not that like one is good and bad, but just like this is more like Cancer, Libra, maybe a little bit of Pisces, Virgo. Like that's kind of like the lighter feminine. And then something like this. Well, we saw oh hello. We saw Rihanna, but like it's darker feminine, right? It's just more powerful. It's like that place that people don't want to see women all the time in power, but that is a part of femininity as well. So that is kind of my astrology style situation. I was going to show you maybe how this plays out in one other person. Let me see if I can find one. Grandpa Dave, LOL. Grandpa K. Let's do Grandma Carolyn, you know? She's a Gemini queen. She's turning 90 this year. Let's do it. So she has a Gemini, you know, so it's like, okay, Sagittarius, Jupiter there. She's going to have a big personality. She does. And then she also has her, you know, MC in Libra. I'm like getting bored talking, so I feel like I should be done after this. But yeah, so it's like she's dressed like really fun. She's always like dressed really well and like she's always put her makeup on, you know? And she also like she's fun. She's a wild child. But I think I'm gonna stop screen sharing now. Let's see. Stop the share. Okay. Stop the share. Perfect. Yay. I know technology now. But yeah, that was kind of my overview of last month, Aries season, a little sneak preview of how I look at styling. And once again, like this could be as simple as asking, you can totally ask ChatGPT. Like once you know your placements, you can, but it's more than that, okay? It's more about like embodying it, being like, what does dressing like this help me embody? Like for me, like wearing a cashmere shirt, like not only makes my Scorpio Venus proud, but it also like I can lift it up and I can show my tattoos. That's kind of like Gemini, right? My Gemini rising. And then, you know, Pisces, I try to include a bit of the ocean. I try to have like wavy hair. I try to also like be very minimal in my makeup, but like having black for Scorpio at my eyes because I want you to look at my eyes. So play with it. I would love to hear like what kind of came up for you in those examples. Would love to hear more examples. Those are very limited. Like there's so many different ways to express yourself, and there's no wrong way, and it's just so fun to play with. And I hope that little section encouraged you to like play a little bit more. And by all means, like if you have questions, like message me. I love looking at that stuff. Um, it's been an hour together, by the way. So thank you if you're still here. I'm going to just kind of finish with a question or two that I received in my uh, I'm starting to get tired, so that's why I'm saying we're almost done here. I talk a lot. I talk a lot though, so it makes sense. I usually just need more water and I feel fine. I feel more grounded. Isn't that funny that water can ground us sometimes? Water signs will get it. The last thing I want to talk about is how, just picking up a rock. Um, Favorite fidget toys, you guys. Whether you're ADHD or psychic, crystals are it. Or both. Um, so the one thing I wanted to talk about was like how I channel or like how I read a birth chart. And so I kind of just wanted to give an example of that. I'm like trying to decide if I should do Kelsey's chart, but I don't think so. So yeah, like I think a lot of misconceptions about like my work are just like you're predicting the future and that's just like not true because no one knows what the future is because we're creating it right now together, which is really exciting. Um, but like kind of the things I do to get into a reading, I make sure that like this space is all set up. I need to get a door here just so there's even more privacy, but just make sure I've done my like energetic grounding practices. Like I've done my like morning practice that I just like connect to my body, connect to my guides. Maybe do like a little bit of automatic writing. And then once I've done that, I pull up the charts. So Kelsey was asking me, she was like, how do you channel? And I was like, that's a great question. Let me think about that. And then the second question was like, what all can you do with astrology? Because when I opened up like questions to my group, like I didn't really get anything. And I was like, I think people just like don't know all the things that you can see in astrology. And it's not everything, but once again, astrology is just showing you who you are. And so it can just be a great tool. And like after Kelsey's question, I was like, yeah, you could legit get an astrology reading once a month. Like you wouldn't look at like the timing so much as like if you wanted to get to know yourself more, the archetypes of yourself, like just exploring that. I just have a lot of Scorpio placements. I love looking at the psychological impact of things like that. So, anyways, this is just like a preview of like all the things you can get into, and I probably will screen share it one more time. I'm gonna wrap this up in about 15 minutes because I feel like that's my cap. So, like, just know that's about 15 more minutes here. Um, so let me share my screen again because we're doing that now. Okay. Um, let's do my grandma. It's already extra, already up. So when I first get onto a chart, so this is her natal chart, okay? I could pull up her solar return chart. I could pull up her progress chart. I could pull up her astrocartography that could show like different places to be on the world that could like better suit her. I could look up her zodiacal releasing. That's like more of a timing technique compared with other things. I could look at the transits. These are always changing, by the way, for everybody. These are the transits in green. So basically, like when I look at a chart in most of my readings, like I do a 30-minute session right now where it's recorded and like I would go in a 30 session recording, I would just start talking about what I see because no one's on it with me. I just start da 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 da. I'm like, okay, I hope that made sense, you know. But it's I was telling Kelsey, I feel like how some intuitives use like tarot to tap in, I use astrology to tap into like people, if that makes sense, because I get like words or I pull cards and they're just really aligned. So, yeah, I'm just like starting to view astrology as maybe like my psychic tool to like see more. But I'm going to take these off for now. Um, when I first get into a chart, I like to orient to it. So we're all going to have these same 12 houses. And I mentioned I'm a whole sign astrologer. If you use Placidus, these pie slices are just going to be different sizes. I visually cannot handle that. So good on you or good on astrologers who do that. This is just what works for me. You do you. And then I like start to just notice like, gosh, she just has like a lot of squares and she has some good harmonious things to her moon. She has a lot going on in her seventh house, and it's kind of this like upper bell shape. So I just start to like it's like you're starting out here and you just go more and more and more and more and more in. So for her, I would be like, okay, well, for sure, the stellium is really important. You have all of your personal planets there. Um, and I like identify her moon, I identify her rising sign. Um, and then I just kind of see like what stands out from there. Um, and I just kind of go from there. So usually in a session, I'll like have, in my intake form, I'm just like, what do you want to talk about? But you can literally talk about anything because first house is about like your physical appearance, like how you come off to people. If you're doing, a business rebrand, looking at, transits associated with that house or that house's ruler, Jupiter, I would really be looking to that. And this includes in the other charts, like progress charts and solar return. So this is just one chart that I am looking at. It's like people don't understand like real astrology. Like, and I'm not saying people are dumb, but like people don't understand yet how deep it can go. And it's not everything, right? Like this is just a tool, but it's just super fun. So you could look at that. Second house is all about money, materials, your self-worth. Like it's literally like how much you care for yourself. Um, I did a post on like the wealth and abundance of how to find that in your chart. And like Leonardo DiCaprio has like a stacked second house with Scorpio and he's wealthy as fuck. So that'll tell you something. Also, these have to do with body parts too. So like back in the day, astrologers were doctors. Like they were like, oh, you have something with your head. Oh, well, you have Mars here and something's transiting here. You're gonna have a lot of headaches. This is this herb to help with that. Like then there's herbs related to the planets. Like I'm just trying to open your mind to how big astrology is. So like body parts, herbs, um, yeah, foods. Like I have a whole book on body astrology and I did a reading with my friend Diana when she was going through some things and it was like spot on. And you can like balance out other planets like, oh, I have too much Mars energy. I need more Saturn. I need more drying and cooling foods. So fascinating to me. Could yap about that for years and I probably will. So third house, it's about your hands, it's about your arms. It's ruled by Gemini, writing, speaking, siblings, short-term travel. If you're planning like little trips, looking to third house transits could be interesting. Or like things have been hard with siblings, look to your third house. What's going on there? Fourth house, this is where like a lot, I may have to take this off, it's really hot. Fourth house is like mother, ancestry, family, home. Um, it's a lot. And so like my grandma has Saturn here. We can see that. Okay. So like maybe it took a little bit longer for her to build a sense of safety in her home. Or like, I mean, she was married super young, guys. She was married at like 16, 15. I mean, like she was like 16. She's very young. And so just like, I don't know. And my daughter even has Saturn in the fourth house. So it's like it could mean strict parents. It could mean like an interesting childhood. So like the fourth, eighth, and 12th houses, those are kind of where you see some like real life shit in people. And like I don't take that lightly in my readings at all because I have been through that shit, a lot of it. And like when you can have someone speak to that in a very kind way and like validate that time frame, like being like, oh, well, you had these transits going over that. That was really hard for you then. Like, how is it now? So looking at like retroflectively looking back and being like, wow, that's why that thing was so hard. Or like, you guys, this is so bleak. Like I looked up the timing of my husband's death, my late husband's death. It happened like on a new moon in the 12th house in his progress chart. So like, yeah, like spooky. Okay. Um, but like going into fifth house, let's lighten it up. So that's like where you like to play and express yourself. Like if you are an artist and you feel like, gosh, like I just haven't been happy, like look to your fucking fifth house. Like what are you missing there? Like what qualities do you need? Children, huge for predictive timing. Like if you want to have kids, oh my gosh, or fourth house. There's once again all the charts you can look through. Sixth house is like your daily routines, your work, what you do for health. You can see a lot of health things here too. I have a stacked sixth house and I've been through a lot of health things. Um, it can tell you your ideal work environment. It can like kind of predate a shift that's happening there. Like if you have eclipses going on there, probably shifts happening in that house. Seventh house is partnership, big on like predicting when and who your partner will be. Like I could do a whole like this is maybe like years down the road when like my relationship is just so like so solid that like there's just no doubt. Like I have no doubt, but just I value my privacy. But like sharing the synastry of me and my partner is crazy. Like our vertex points are aligned. We have the same moon sign. Like there's just so like that's just the tip of the iceberg of our relationship synastry and astrology. So you can do that there. I love doing dating astrology for people. I went through a lot of hard dating stuff, and that's part of the reason why I was like, I need to figure out how I can like be more cool. That's why I became an astrologer, just like make sense of hard times and like figure out how to like make the best of them. Eighth house, it's the deep trenches of life. This is like, I mean, this is like I had so many transits to my seventh and eighth house when my late husband passed. Like you know, I came into life insurance, like all these like random things, or just like these really deep dynamics around like birth, death, grief. A lot of healers are here, Amanda, if you're watching this. She has like a stacked eighth house, and eighth house is very healing too. It's ruled by Scorpio. Scorpio is very healing. Because like those are the depths, like that is the essence of life, birth, death, death doulas, birth doulas. Um, yeah, you can see like partnership synastry as well. Like if you are starting to date someone seriously, like my one friend Suze, I hope she watches this. She's starting that journey, and I was like, as soon as you can, let me know that birth information, baby. Like kind of, but not really. Like I respect when people like it's in its own time. I don't push it, but I get excited because it's just so validating, and you can like see the strengths in the relationship, and you can see the challenges in the relationship, and you can see like the hard periods of time, and yeah. Ninth house is really fun. That's especially fun to look at with astrocartography. That would be a whole other chat, astrocartography. So let me know if you want me to chat about that. Happy to, obviously. Um, but ninth house is all about foreign travel. It's about, astrology. It's about higher education. It's about religion. It's anything that opens up your brain more and just like makes you think about stuff. And it's all about beliefs and like, gosh, I feel like Saturn going through my ninth house was like all rewiring my like limiting beliefs and like opened me up spiritually huge, like in a big way. Wrecking me, but like in a good way. 10th house has to do with career. So it's a really big one for people. 10th house ruler. So this is Virgo. Her 10th house ruler is in her seventh house. She was a stay-at-home mom, like that was her career. Um, um, but yeah, you can like look at career things. You could look at this is a huge thing. You could look at synastry with people you're working with too and be like, hey, like this is how we work well together. Or like if you're planning a launch of something, like I showed you that my Stellium Girly astrology business has its own chart. You can do that with anything. You can do that with buying a house. You can do that with like literally anything. And every business, even Bitcoin, has its own astrological chart. And yes, I have looked up Bitcoin. It is fascinating to see the different trends of astrology with Bitcoin. I nerd out with my Aquarius stellium boyfriend about that quite a bit. And then like Libra, and not Libra, sorry, 11th house, it's all about like social circles, friends, social media. It could just like tell you like if you've been through like a really hard time, like it just tells you, hey, like this will be more the focus, like you'll have more friends at this time, or tell you like what type of friends, or like if you are on social media, 11th and third house are like really key places I look to see like how you can do well. So like the sign and rulership. So like Libra and then Venus. And then the 12th house, once again, I've said this before, but it's just kind of like a little misunderstood because it's like a veiled place. It's naturally ruled by Pisces. And so just like all of your shadows live there, all of your dreams live there, your psyche lives there. So kind of like whatever's not expressed here will express into your sixth house, your body. That is what I've been experiencing a little bit. Like, hey girl, you're not using your psychic gifts, so we're gonna make you sick to realize you have psychic gifts. So you like, you know, that kind of thing. So like it's so varied and finishing with 12th house, I know a lot of people with a lot of 12th house placements, my late husband included. And it's like a really tricky house sometimes. And usually they're not mentally ill people. They're like quite spiritually inclined, don't have an outlet, artistic people. Like they're just so connected here. And like I have my son is like at a 12th house degree, so I get that. Like my work feels very channeled. It just is when it's actually real stuff, like real work. I'm not like trying to do something. So yeah, it's very interesting. And like, I just got an astrology reading, and she's like, hey, you have your progressed moon in the 12th house. How are you feeling? Your Capricorn 12th moon in the 12th house. Like, are you feeling? And I'm like, no. I just want to be alone. I just want to have structure, being alone, and emotions have been hard. And like, definitely like mental health stuff has come up from like trauma relating to my natal Capricorn house, the eighth house. So, anyways, that is that. Let me stop sharing. Stop share. Okay, I want to go back here. Hello, where'd you go? Right there. I like lost it. Okay, here we go. Dude, technology. If I'm ever zoning out in a call, technology, usually the case. But that was my call for today. Just grateful that I can share this. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Holler my way. Excited to keep continuing on with my under the surface chat. There you can just find a lot of this, but like a little bit more real time. Just like dropping whatever I feel. I'm using these words and you probably don't know what I mean. So like I'm just sharing in voice messages. I'm sharing in like 1 minute long video segments of like, hey, I just had this experience. This is like what I cultivated from it. Um, access to like asking an astrologer questions. I freaking wish I had this. So you're welcome for reading it. But no, truly, like I just feel like astrology could help a lot of people through like really hard times. Just like make sense of that and like not be so hard on themselves for it. And also like I feel like it's just a great way to like get to know other people. So yeah, on that note, two of my friends told me I'd be channeling for groups of women, so that'd be fun to do that with groups of women. And yeah, I am just here as a cute little bumblebee to remind you that life can be really fucking hard and that you can get through it. And there is so much out there to support you in getting through it. And you are supported all along the way, whether you believe in the woo-woo stuff or not. You are so loved, so cherished, and you are an integral part of being here. So thank you. Love you. Catch you next time. All the information that I talked about is below.